see you differently.
The World Cup is on WDRB.
Watch Racing Louisville's own Savannah DeMello when Team USA takes on Vietnam.
Live sports. Thousands of live events.
The World Cup on WDRB is presented by Racing Louisville FC and Norton Healthcare.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Kroger, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Boost by Kroger Plus is more than worth it. With 2 times fuel points and free delivery, you can save up to $1,000 per year. Try Boost free for 30 days. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you at the break in this international friendly between Louisville City FC and Atlante Football Club from Mexico. And during this halftime, as we look forward to the second 45 minutes as well, a lot of things to share with you here. First off, and we were really loving this off-air, Eric, the limited edition scarves that fans have a chance to get from this event, and it's been a great night so far.
Oh, you brought up, they're almost founded 100 years apart.
Yes.
So 2 teams that are playing tonight in those rare matchups, and those are what's always fun about international friendlies.
Great collectibles to have as well. The best fans tend to have those great half scarves as well. And of course, next up for Louisville City in the league is a trip to Detroit City as well. World of Beer will have the watch party on Wednesday. Always a great place to go and catch the game as well. July 19th, 7 p.m. for that one at World of Beer. And then the upcoming schedule for Lou City as a whole is rather daunting, it must be said.
It is, and I think this is where this international friendly can really be a strength in terms of building upon going into the last 16 games of the season. You go travel to Detroit City, who's playing tonight, and then who's outside of the playoff line, and then you host Birmingham, host Indy 11, at FC Tulsa, and Charleston Battery, and all 4 of those clubs above the playoff line. So for Lou City, a really, long list of 5 games, and that's only 5 of 16 that they're going to have to get results.
We'll see how Lou City fares in those games up ahead. But of course, for Sean Tosh, what a landmark moment for him recently. His 200th cap for Louisville City. Great photo there with his family and his coach as well. What a moment for him. What a career he's had.
I mean, just such a professional. I mean, the way you prepare, the way you take care of yourself, the way you approach the game on and off the field. I mean, Sean Tosh has just been a role model of that for Lou City, and really congratulations to him and his family.
No question about that. We will take a break here. When we come back, we'll get to news and notes, out-of-town scores from around the league, and much more at the break in this international friendly between Louisville City and Atlante here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Header down Oxford! Jimmy Oxford gets one
halftime is presented to you by Breeze Airways. Nice, new, and non-stop. That's the Breezeway. Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you for this international friendly. Louisville City 0, Atlante 1 at the half. Big 45 minutes still to come. But, Coach, we start by taking a look around the league. Of course, you can predict the Women's World Cup, USLSuperLeague.com/bracket. Good luck. It's going to be tougher than normal to pick the Women's World Cup this time around. Great news with the USL and Arkansas, but our mouths are watering over this game tonight on ESPN2. Monterey Bay and Oakland Roots out west.
It is, and such a loaded Western Conference, and for Monterey Bay and Oakland Roots, really important 3 points up for grabs as Oakland Roots is trying to climb back into the conversation for the playoffs. And as you mentioned, USL and Arkansas, I think just to see the continued growth and investment in the league and by organizations, it's just been so much fun to watch from the USL standpoint.
Big to see that, no question about that, like you said, on the men's and the women's side as well. As we take a look around the league going on tonight in the USL Championship, Pittsburgh continue to be strong at Highmark this season. They beat Detroit City by 2-0. Miami won, Charleston Battery 0, although I think Battery may have just scored to take a point from Miami at the death, and Birmingham leads Tampa Bay by 1-0 second half.
That would be gut-wrenching for Miami FC to concede that late of an equalizer. You go from having 3 points in your grasp and really making a push towards that playoff line, and as you mentioned for Pittsburgh, I mean, they just continue to be so difficult to beat at Highmark. Bob Lilly's side, one of the best teams in the league defensively, and you look at the Eastern Conference standings right now, and they're just starting to separate themselves. Obviously, Tampa Bay Rowdies right there in the mix. Charleston Battery, we talked about with that late goal, pulling a point from that Miami FC match. And for Loudoun United, Indy 11, and FC Tulsa really bunched up for those final 2 playoff spots, and Miami FC trying to get in that conversation as well.
The PowerNet standings show it. We have a lot of good stuff to come moving forward in the USL Championship. Big 45 to come in this international friendly as well. Highlights are coming up next between Lou City and Atlante, with the Mexican side leading by 1-0 at the break.
Did you know taking care of your teeth and gums helps control blood sugar levels? A healthy smile means a healthier you. We can help you get there. Mortensen Family Dental. Schedule online at mortensondental.com. Did you know taking care of your teeth and gums helps lower your risk of heart attack? A healthy smile means a healthier you. We can help you get there. Mortensen Family Dental. Schedule online at mortensondental.com.
Well, they say the grass is greener there, but ours is dreamy blue. And there's no place I would rather be than Kentucky with you.
cross, and Maris, this ball always rising. Really just need to pick your spot and almost guide it past Hernandez.
Nice ball in from Mushagalusa. Serrano not quite able to get the delicateness needed on the touch, beg your pardon, and Atlante does clean things up at the back, but just like we saw in the first few minutes of the game, Louisville City has started another half better than their opponents here. Although Maris now goes down away from the play, and he needs a moment.
And we saw it from the moment Mushagalusa and Serrano entered in the first half, that those two connected very well. As we see Maris getting up, and it looks like he's okay. But with the substitution of Gibson and the entrance of Amadou Dia, it looks like Dia's playing at center back. And now Mogul has been able to play in his regular position, where that central position, obviously doing a really good job at center back in that first 45.
Miguel Velasquez was dispossessed on this near side for Atlante, but it stays with the visitors. Fernando Ramirez will restart the play. Quickly given back, and Lou City will try to build once more. Dia clears definitively for Lou City. Mushagalusa wins the header. Atlante have things covered at the back through Luis Sosa. And then Hernandez sends it upfield. And then the offside flag is up, negating any further action for the side from Mexico City.
You mentioned it, very similar start here to the second half that we saw Lou City in that first 45, playing with a lot of energy.
Mushagalusa. Once again, two players on him. Atlante have paid him quite a bit of attention since he's come on. Jimenez nearly was touched through to Isaac Cano on his debut. In the end, Hernandez controls. I did want to get your thoughts again on that late goal. Andrew Booth, an equalizer for Charleston. That really shakes up things at the bottom of the table, and that is a huge set of drop points there for Miami, it must be said.
Yeah, and really heartbreaking for Miami FC. You get an 83rd minute goal by Ben Mines, and a lot of extra time added to that game, and you just need to see that game out and concede late, and you see 3 points go down to 1, when really the only thing that's going to make a dent into your climbing up the standings is collecting 3 points at a time.
Winder brought down, free kick for Lou City.
And let's see if Lou City can play a ball in very similar to what Atlante did to the end of that first half.
Atlante did make 3 halftime changes as well. Daniel LaHood, Edson Partida, and Edwin Serna all came on. Mario Garcia, Martinez, Bermudez, and Escobar came off, and then this was the follow-through to this injury stoppage. And some work is being done here.
Just that slight collision there after the ball is played out wide.
Also concern here for Mario Garcia and his staff is Miguel Velasquez, who is being worked on here. And again, both coaches at the end of the day want to be healthy at the end of the night, and so far we've been able to check off that box. We hope that continues with Velasquez, and that's how Lou City won the set piece. That came after Velasquez went down. hope that he is okay.
And a tackle in from behind by Rolando Gonzalez, and again conceding a free kick very close to the same spot as Rolando Gonzalez had late in that first half.
It leads to a Fifth Third Bank free kick for Lou City. Mogul and Jimenez standing over it. Some purple shirts queuing up inside of the Atlante penalty area. It is Mogul Jr. who strikes it. And in the end, it is wide of Hernandez's goal and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it looked like Mogul Jr. was going to look to test Hernandez on that free kick. And you could see Atlante holding a bit higher line than Lou City did on the service in that first half, holding that 18-yard line, really taking away that ball that can come across the face of goal. Again, Lou City playing on the front foot.
Mushagalusa and Maris, maybe a chance. Jimenez! Ball ends up staying in play. Dom tries to cross it back into the middle, and it's well read by Humberto Hernandez. But more positive play from Lou City, still in search of that equalizing goal.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lou City, just not a clear-cut chance. I mean, I would dare to say that opportunity to start the second half by Maris really should have tested Hernandez a lot more than it did. And ball sailing over the crossbar, but besides that, really not pushing Hernandez into a really difficult save.
Atlante scored in first half stoppage time off a Rolando Gonzalez free kick. Although Armando Escobar did claim it on the touch. There's still a dispute over whose goal it was at halftime. But nonetheless, the side from Mexico City have had the upper hand. Lou City have done well to try and cut into that. The score remains unchanged.
Yeah, and Atlante having at least two of the better chances, one of them obviously being the goal, but then the Ramirez take and the Fondez save in that first half as well. But you have to like the way Lou City has come out in the second half. And you've seen some of the changes and the substitutions that you knew you'd see by both sides.
Maris does well there, wins the corner for Louisville. First 10 minutes just about of this half. Lou City keep pushing. Wi-Fi corner upcoming. To find the equalizing goal. In by Jimenez. To the back post, Hernandez punches strongly. Serrano recycles. Sends it right back in. Mushagalusa was in the area. It's headed out of play by Gonzalez. It's another Louisville corner. Jimenez tries again. Chance to head it down centrally, doesn't quite come off. Amadou Dia, chance to recycle here for Louisville. What a step past one. Mogul Jr. Cano. And it taken away from him. Mushagalusa picks up the pieces. Dia. 2 assists in the league so far this season for Amadou Dia. Fondez, again, well off of his line. Has Maris in support. Lou City do slow things down. Tulsa and Hartford have just kicked off in Oklahoma. 0-0 first 13 minutes of that game. Orange County have added another at Loudon. They lead by 3 goals to 1. They seem to have turned a corner, Orange County, in that deep Western Conference, coach. And they will certainly be a team to reckon with, as they were a couple of seasons ago when they lifted the crown at Tampa Bay's expense.
Putting themselves, as you mentioned, back in that playoff conversation, now tied on points with Phoenix Rising and New Mexico United at 25 points. And I mean, Loudoun United, every time you think that they've gained momentum and they're really starting to put a stretch together, just seem to find a bit of a lapse there. And another team in the East, just like Miami FC and Detroit City, that are trying to put pressure on FC Tulsa and Indy 11 and Birmingham.
Serrano couldn't quite keep it in play, and it's an Atlante throw.
Again, the chances that Mushagalusa and Ray Serrano are creating since they came on as substitutes in the first half, they are really connecting, really seeing the game.
Of course, it is a Hispanic celebration night here in Louisville as well. We had the great pictures for you in our open. Festivities have been tremendous, and it's the second international friendly in about a month for Louisville City. FC Kaiserslautern came here on June 21st, second division German side. Lou City lost by 2-1. Many academy debuts. We've seen some already here tonight as well. Isaac Cano most notably in that regard. So I think regardless of the result, there's going to be plenty of positives to take, but one thing that Lou City's been trying to improve on, they're continuing to try and work on, is that final touch in the final third. And again, they've come close multiple times, and still it has eluded them here tonight.
And something has to give going into this final 16 games for Lou City. And obviously 16 games is quite a stretch, so it's not such a short period of time. But you go to Detroit City FC, a team that finds themselves 10th in the Eastern Conference, and another team that is struggling to score goals and actually sit last in the league in goals scored. They lost 2-0 tonight to Pittsburgh. You know, for Lou City, can they go on the road, find that game winner?
Oh, Atlante are in again here. Ball played across. Golden chance for Matthias Roskopf. And Fondez, I think, may have gotten enough on it, if not a defender in front. This is chipped back over the top. It's a lovely, delicate little chip initially. Then a shot does come in. And it's curled wide by the substitute, Edwin Cerna, and goes out of play.
You just continue to see the creativity of Atlante and their players in tight spaces, very comfortable finding alternate ways around defenders. As you see this ball touched over and earning a corner kick for Atlante.
Ball is whipped in. Another chance for Roskopf. He just couldn't quite get a piece of it. And Lou City does just about clear it, although it's headed back into the penalty area. When Dom on the defensive cover there, but it's kept in play. Atlante could be in, and it's a crucial block on the way through there. It was Kawasmi who was able to get a boot in front of it. Serrano clears it away. Atlante still trying to come forward. It's a very ambitious strike from some distance that goes well wide and out for a goal kick at the end of a good sequence from the visitors.
And going back to Lou City and scoring goals, obviously the return of Brian Ownby is going to be big. Brian Ownby, the all-time assist leader in the club history, 35 assists. Last year, career high 10 goals for Lou City.
Mushagalusa plays in Ray Serrano. Serrano's ball across, And Cano needed an extra boost of energy there to get there. And to be fair, he was so far behind the play. The ball was just too far out in front of him. But Jimenez gets some space. That's a real chance there for Lou City. Hernandez makes the save for Atlante.
And by no means am I pegging this on one player's return that's all of a sudden going to solve Lou City in the final third, but they have dynamic and electric attackers. You see it from Mushikalusa, you see it from Serrano, Lancaster, Wilson, and now Ombi coming back. It's just about how do you go about unlocking opponents, and we've seen it, some of those slight misfires in that final third as we see Cam Lancaster coming on now.
We had a feeling we would see him. Cameron Lancaster is going to come on. Jabari Rashid is also going to come on as well. It's a double Fortnite change for Louisville City, and Atlante are making a hockey line change, it appears. Lou City will reset for now, but there's plenty of changes coming for Atlante, as you can see there. We will get to them. Cameron Lancaster is on. He's someone that can certainly apply a finishing touch for Lou City. And Jabari Rashid from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Senior in high school, has committed to play at the University of Kentucky for the Wildcats. Did play in the Kaiserslautern friendly as well, and a member of the under-19 Lou City Academy team that won the Dallas Cup back in April. Atlante are getting ready, a host of substitutions here. Eric Cantu is coming on. Fernando Hernandez is coming on as well to take over in goal. Diego Cruz coming on as well. Leonardo Mejia is also going to come on, and Maximiliano Garcia enters as well for Atlante. There's no puck out on this field, but plenty of movement as far as Mario Garcia's bunch is concerned. Relatively normal for a friendly, and we will see some of the reserves for Atlante get some run here in these last 25 minutes or so.
And again, we talked about the two different scenarios for both sides. Atlante entering a regular season, Lou City in the midst of a regular season, and we've seen contrasting styles from the substitution portion as well from both coaching staffs. We've seen Danny Cruz and his staff really balance in some of the substitutions, whether it's 2 or 3 subs at a time, and balancing those substitutions with whether it's an academy player and then a player such as Cameron Lancaster or a Mushikalusa. You're finding some of that balance, and obviously the experience and some of the younger players balancing that as well. And then Atlante trying to get ready for a regular season and trying to see waves of players at different moments. And we talk about recreating game-like scenarios that you can't in training. And this is something for Mario Garcia and his side. You have a 1-0 lead. You have about 25 minutes left in this match. See the game out or go ahead and find the second one. And for Lou City, same thing. You have 25 minutes left. Go find the equalizer. And those are things that you can't necessarily practice and structure in a training environment.
Well, Cameron Lancaster got the worst of that last challenge from Jonathan Sanchez. World of Beer yellow card for the Atlante defender. Has played every minute of the game so far. And tiptoeing on that near side there, Tanya LaHood just couldn't quite keep it in play. 11 goals in 34 games for Atlante. Scored 13 between the two parts of the league last season, was third in the Golden Boot in the Liga de Expansión MX. Plays internationally for Lebanon, 3 caps for his country. Atlante on the break potentially here. They have numbers forward. There's LaHood, they're trying to get the shot away to no avail in the end. And now maybe Lancaster can send Lou City on their way. Nice hold-up play. Serrano is brought into the attack. Winder as well. Lancaster through the middle. Winder on the outside, and Serrano left it short. Atlante nearly did enough defensively there. Then Serrano trying to keep the ball in play. Gives possession back to the visitors.
And what you don't want to see for Danny Cruz's side and the players for Lou City is some of the frustration that's already kind of built up through this first half of the season from the goal scoring element really play itself out here in a friendly and then bleed into Wednesday's matchup at Detroit City FC and then continue itself through this second half of the regular season, because there's no just automatic cure to it. There's just no one easy button to press and all of a sudden, you know, some of those chances are converted. As we could see from the start of the match, Brian Ownby to Del Piccolo, this chance from out wide, and then again just a miscue by Cano and Serrano, and then just the misfire by Maris. So again, Lou City is creating those chances. Talked about it in the first half. They're 5th in the East in shots, in total shots, but second to last in overall conversion rate at 11%. And you look at teams that are towards the top of the league overall, whether it's the East or West. New Mexico sitting at 21% of conversion rate. Tampa Bay Rowdies at 20%.
Oh, maybe a chance here. Goalkeeper makes a bit of a mess of it, and then Dia had Lancaster on a plate, couldn't get it to him. Lancaster does very well here to regain possession and recycle it. Serrano couldn't quite get it back, neither could Lancaster. Tight quarters play there from Edson Partida on point. Lou City do get it back. That was a golden opportunity. Normally you'd expect Lou City to bury that. Didn't happen. Serrano though back across, and Mushagalusa had 3 men on him. It's out for a Lou City throw.
Yeah, really casual turnover here by Atlante, and really just unbalance them, win possession. It looks like Diaz waiting for a player to get on side. Can't play Mushagalusa because he's the one pressing and he's in an offside position, but then just misfires on the pass to Cam Lancaster.
Nice control from Lancaster there, but too firm in the end. And easy enough for Fernando Hernandez. Well, sometimes luck plays a role as Lancaster pressuring Hernandez, and he nearly got another takeaway. Well, Fernando Hernandez is having much more a tougher time than Humberto Hernandez. 2 big giveaways, and now another giveaway here from Lou City. This time should be 2. It is. Daniel LaHood just keeps on scoring for Atlante. 13 goals in league play this past campaign. Atlante score a second, and with 20 minutes left in this international friendly, the boys from Mexico City lead by 2-0.
And now both goalkeepers exchanging casual turnovers in the build-up play as Fondez just playing really tough ball to Rashid, playing it just a bit in front of him. And really good pressure and really good patience there by Atlante, almost baiting Fondez into playing that ball, and then jumping all over the press, and then the patience to wait for Fondez to have to commit to his left side, and then just the easy finish for LaHood. Again, a second half that really saw a lot of the energy and the urgency in favor of Lou City. That Maris chance early on.
Winder, lovely skill here. After Serrano's dummy, And then Lancaster in the middle as Mario Garcia doesn't like what he's seeing there defensively. And then the flag goes up here and Lou City lose possession at the end of another promising sequence that again doesn't see a climax.
And just like the first half, we see Mario Garcia upset about something shortly after his team have scored. But as you mentioned, it has to be on something on the defensive side, because you saw it in the first half, whether it's his team retreating a bit too early in some of the build-up moments for Lou City, or conceding chances right off goals as well.
More ambition from Cameron Lancaster there. It might have been an offside position. Flag stayed down, but he misses the target with his chance. Lou City make another change. Dylan Maris, who certainly was amongst the opportunities today for Louisville, he will come off, and it will be the youngster, Nick Harshaw, who is going to come on for Louisville City. He earned preseason minutes with the first team against Nashville SC, was on that same Dallas Cup winning side for the under-19s for Lou City as well. And gets to come on for some big-time minutes here, the Academy youngster in this friendly, number 76 in purple.
Whenever you come into these international friendlies, we talked about the enjoyment of the game. We talked about playing free. We talked about a little bit of that joy from both sides, really, the players, the coaching staffs, and the fans, and this night of celebration. But what does end up kind of showcasing itself sometimes and rearing its head again is just the lack of finishing from Lou City. It's not necessarily the creation of opportunities, but it's just some of those, you know, whether it's just upgrading an opportunity, you know, some of the shots that they're settling for 20, 25 yards out, or some of the miscues out wide on the delivery, or even some of the interchange in that final third on top of the 18-yard box. You want to say that you're enjoying the night, but some of the fans and some of the players and the coaches have got to be just a bit frustrated with how this has played out offensively as well.
Musha Galusa played in by Lancaster. It'll stay with Louisville on this near side. Well, again, Lancaster's come on. He's been bright. He's been vibrant. And Lou City players are trying to find him constantly. Still trying to get that goal that, who knows, is maybe the goal that can get Lou City back on track with their finishing. Sometimes it just takes one. Throw in from Amadou Dia. Does come up short in the penalty area, but Dia gets a second chance at it. Local junior. Sent back in by Kawasmi for Dia. Can Lou City break down this Atlante back line? Dia's ball in is dangerous, and Hernandez just got enough onto it. Oh, and Dom tries to pick up the pieces here for Lou City. Kawasmi. Serrano. Still Serrano. Down the line he goes. His cross into the middle. Goes over everybody's head. It's cleared only as far as Dia. Musha Galusa. Across the face of goal. Cleared away, but only as far as Harshaw. Harshaw centrally. Mogul Jr. Harshaw. Mogul Jr. falling as he hit it. Sees it stated by Humberto Hernandez. Well, fans, head to Twitter to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match. Poll will be open for the next 10 minutes. Vote now at twitter.com/Lou City. We've seen so many players tonight. It might be one of the trickier man of the matches to pick, as Jack Travis, another youngster, he's going to get some run here. Oh, and Dom comes off. It's another Fortuna substitution. Trinity High School grad. Travis is committed to play for the Paladins of Furman University. He's played in the Kaiserslautern friendly this season. Does have preseason first team minutes against Nashville under his belt as well. Again, another part of what this night is all about. Danny Cruz has really gotten a mix and match with these young, bright stars that you're going to see, whether it's at the collegiate level, maybe at this level, and maybe higher in American soccer. You just think about some of these collegiate programs that these youngsters are committing to, and that's where the future can be very bright.
Yeah, that's where you do have to tend to find that balance between being disappointed with the results so far. Obviously, plenty of time for Lou City. Obviously, the celebration of the night, but then how special the moments are for a lot of these academy players. And as you mentioned, many of them going on to play collegiately, whether it's this fall or later on. And what an experience this is for those players. Those younger players, they're already going to put that pressure on themselves to perform. We talked to Danny Cruz about those conversations that you have with those younger players, because you already know that they're going to have high expectations and the nerves are going to be there. He mentioned it. It's just about telling them play with joy and be free, and then a reminder that they're going to look back on this moment as their career progresses.
Ball in from Mushagalusa. Local junior, in the end, forces an upending here. Atlante get a free kick with about 12 minutes of the 90 left. Beto is going to come on here for Atlante. And Edwin Cerno actually came on as a substitute. He's going to come off here. Hopefully this is nothing too serious here for Mario Garcia's group. But in a friendly, that is possible, definitely within the realm. That doesn't necessarily mean it's an injury.
It is. You want to see some minutes for certain players, and there's only so many minutes that can go around. That you talk about what a friendly and a scrimmage, and in terms of a setting like this provides you instead of a training, but what it doesn't provide you is minutes for everybody. So you do have to manage those roles that each player has to play.
Louisville 2023 ticket packages are available now. Lou City's next home match is on July 22nd, 8 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Lynn Family Stadium when the boys in purple take on Birmingham Legion FC. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets. We talked about this at the half, Coach, but Lou City's schedule is not getting any easier in the weeks and months ahead. It's a brutal stretch coming up, with all teams that are either in and around or very much contenders in both the East and the West.
And I'll go back to that Detroit City game just because obviously it is the next up for Lou City. And although it is a team that sits below Lou City in regards to goals scored and has those struggles in the final third, Detroit City FC is an extremely tough team defensively. Up until tonight when they dropped their game against Pittsburgh 2-0, only conceding 20 goals overall, really finding themselves kind of in the middle of that statistical category in the USL Championship within the East and the Western Conference. But I go back to, although Lou City is kind of sputtering on the offensive side and really trying to find their form and rhythm in that final third, I mean, you look at the struggles for Detroit City offensively, and they sit in 10th in the Eastern Conference with 4 wins, 11 losses, and the 5 draws. I mean, Lou City, even with those offensive kind of struggles, they sit 8-5-5. You mentioned it in the open. Really, some of their struggles coming here at home, which is a rarity for Lou City. Lynn Family Stadium is usually that fortress that we talk about Highmark being for Pittsburgh Riverhounds right now. So those are a couple elements that you expect for Danny Cruz and this side to really figure out, is taking care of home field advantage, which they have Birmingham at home after that Detroit City FC game, Indy 11 at home. They're away at Tulsa, but then go on to host Charleston and RGV after that. But you sit tied for fourth, obviously, depending on how Memphis does against Sacramento Republic tonight. And I'm telling you right now, Detroit City FC would flip spots with Lou City any second right now with some of those scoring woes. Again, anytime you see a player down on either side, you just hopeful, and as you can see, looking like it's just cramped for Lou City.
We'll see if Danny Cruz does have to make a change here, but it is Ramsey Kawasmi who is the one struggling at the moment. Gives us an opportunity to give you another update on the scores from around the league. Miami had a chance to beat Charleston earlier. The Battery scoring a 97th minute equalizer to level that at the death in South Florida, 1 each. Pittsburgh keeps on rolling at Highmark. We mentioned it. 2-0 over Detroit. Birmingham beat Tampa Bay by a goal to 0. Orange County won at Loudoun, and 40 minutes gone in Tulsa. FC Tulsa lead Hartford by 2 goals to 1. A lot of early action there as well. And El Paso RGV just kicked off. They're 10 minutes in. It's 0-0. As Manny Perez is going to come on for Kawasmi here. Danny Cruz is forced to make the fortunate change. One of his more regular players is on. With about 7 minutes and change of this international friendly left. Ball is curled in, and Fondez is able to deal with it. Atlante do get possession back here. Mejia was able to recycle it. Beto trying to find some space. 3 men were on him initially. Good pass in behind. It's covered up defensively by Jack Travis, and it's out for a throw. Now, Lou City's Twitter account had some great photos before the game, and normally you see the heavy hitters get the old pregame walk-in treatment, but it was all the youngsters from the academy getting a chance to pose for the cameras early on. Again, that was just another cool moment for those youngsters, and again, some of them have gotten to see the field as well, making that big jump up.
Yeah, it just adds to the experience to get that professional environment. And I mean, you just talk about Lou City as an organization, coaching staff, the fans. I mean, it's just from top to bottom, it's just such a class organization, and I think for these youngsters, I think it's such an opportunity, and an opportunity that they're enjoying tonight. And although the result is not in their favor, you mentioned those little details really go a long way to making those career moments so special. And hats off to Lou City and Atlante for making this international friendly happen.
And their season begins on July 24th. Lancaster! Oh my goodness me! It's a spectacular goal! Blowing the roof off the place. Cameron Lancaster showing you that form is temporary, but class is permanent. And Lou City are back within 1 with 5 minutes to play.
I mean, there's just no other word to describe it but special. I mean, you just tee off from 30-plus yards out, and the pace, the accuracy. I mean, there's just nothing that Hernandez can do about that finish. I mean, just nestling next to that far post, and puts his team right back in this match.
And now Lou City have numbers here. Mushagalusa tried to pull off the same trick, blocked on the edge of the penalty area. All of a sudden, Lou City have life after an absolutely jaw-dropping strike from Cameron Lancaster. Atlante still have a little bit of work to do if they want to leave here with a victory. Overlapping run. Cross does come into the middle. Diaz touch. Beto curls. And it's over the top and out.
I mean, what a strike by Cameron Lancaster. And not only does a goal change the complexion of the game, but a goal like that just energizes not only the crowd, but this team, as we see Mogul Jr., who I think has had a really good night, starting the game at center back, and then moving into midfield. Other than conceding that free kick at the later part of the first half, I mean, I think he's been really consistent and really influential.
Well, he was tremendous tonight. He comes off, and now Lou City finally getting that goal that they have been searching for all night. It just needed a moment of brilliance from Cameron Lancaster. It comes, it appears in the end. Can they fully come from behind here? And again, we saw Dakota Hart come on. He is committed to play at Purdue Fort Wayne for his collegiate career. Another guy that's played in these preseason minutes, a Dallas Cup winner for the U19s as well. Can Atlante polish this off? They still have a chance to see it out. Jimenez crossing it into the middle, and oh, nearly a really tough moment here from Jabari Rashid, but fortunately for him, he heads it wide of the goal, and it's out for a corner.
And Atlante really responding well to conceding that goal to Lou City. Again, showcasing that patience, that balance that they continue to find, getting numbers in that final third, earning themselves a corner here. And not that it's a match that you're going to see significant added time here at the end of the match, but really taking some of the air out of the ball that Lou City had found in terms of the energy.
Dia gets his head on the corner. Mejia recycles it for Atlante. We could have a grandstand finish on our hands here. Atlante won a third to really see it off, and I think that just rolled over the line. Yes, it did. It's a goal kick, and Lou City have about a minute and a half plus stoppage time to try and get a tie here in this international friendly. Could be in some store for some stoppage time drama. Rashid, Serrano, threading it through. Maybe a chance to run onto this on the back end by Perez. It's out for a corner for Lou City in the 90th minute.
This could be the start of an opportunity for Lou City, because you know with the time remaining, you just need to create one more clear-cut chance. And does it come on this corner?
Serrano sends it in. Rashid! And then Lancaster, as it was going wide, keeps the possession alive. Well, Rashid nearly puts his name in lights there. Still a chance. Hart. Dia serving it back across. Tried to find Mushagalusa. Dia upended. Free kick for Lou City. This will take us into injury time at the end of this friendly.
And this really sets up to be a fascinating and intriguing set piece for Lou City, because I think throughout this second half, as Hernandez has come on, he's tended to give away his space early on. You saw it on the service there, leaning towards the far post, giving away near post. So can you manipulate the space there near post as you see him lining up?
In by Lancaster, touched out of play. It's a corner for Lou City. We're into 3 minutes of added time at the end of the match. Lou City were 2-0 down. Didn't look like they had this in them. But Lancaster's brought them back. Danny Fondes is up here, by the way. He's in the penalty area. Lou City's goalkeeper. Hollis played in behind Lancaster. Looks to have committed a foul here. Maybe not. Maybe the ball arced out of play on the way through. Out of bounds and then back in, it appears. And it's a goal kick for Atlante. Well, it is a friendly, but it would be a remarkable comeback here if Lou City are to pull this off. Atlante, especially in the second half, in command, it seems, no matter who is on the pitch. Although, again, some bright moments from Lou City. None brighter than Lancaster's goal. And we've seen Lou City make this a very entertaining finish. Big sliding challenge there, sends it all the way back for Hernandez to claim. Lou City has a minute in change to get a draw out of this.
I was going to say, is Cam Lancaster, can he be up for goal of the week if it's
it was
only
a friendly?
Yeah, if it's an international friendly. Because, I mean, what a special strike.
The answer is it should be, but
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah.
A minute left. Free kick goes Atlante's way here. Well, we said in the open that we were hoping for big moments, some special skill. Cameron Lancaster has stolen the show at the end of this friendly, and Lou City gets a goal kick here. They have about 40 seconds minimum to try and get this downfield. Bring this game to an epic close. Lancaster has been the real spark to this Lou City second half, which comes in there with Harshaw trying to move the attack forward.
You also have to say that Mario Garcia has to be pleased with his team's overall performance. I mean, you concede the goal, but I mean, that's an incredible strike by Cam Lancaster. But besides that, you know, obviously we saw Mario Garcia visibly upset a few times throughout the course of this match. But bend but don't break defensively. They found their moments where they've had to be a bit stretched and having to recover defensively. And we've seen the moments where they could be really dangerous in the final third as well.
Is there time for one more Lou City chance? Winder looking for Lancaster. We've had the 3 minutes. Luis Arroyo's whistle is at his discretion at the moment. Puts his whistle to his mouth, and that is it. Well, Cameron Lancaster stole the show at the end, but Atlante are triumphant in this international friendly. Lou City, unfortunately for them, lose both of their friendlies here by the same scoreline of 2-1. But we saw plenty of talent, amazing skill, most notably Lancaster's incredible goal in the second half. And we saw a great spectacle here between one of the best in the USL Championship, one of the best in the Liga de Expansión MX in Mexico. Man of the match, by the Sports Vision and Training, is Carlos Noble Jr. We talked about the shit that he put in throughout the match.
Yeah, starting this match at center back and then moving into the midfield, I thought he had a really good performance. Really set the tempo, connected both sides of the field at both positions. Really disrupted play defensively when he needed to, and was a playmaker on the ball. So really well deserved from Carlos Mogul Jr. Obviously disappointing overall result, but really some of the ebbs and flows that we thought we were going to see from him.
Well, it was certainly entertaining. Like you said, there's no question about that. Tonight's final score is brought to you by Grisby Law Office. Thrilling contest in Louisville. Cam Lancaster has the last word, but Atlante win the game by 2-1. And we will recap it all coming up next. And we'll probably watch that Cam Lancaster goal a few more times.
That's why at Kroger, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Produced by Kroger Truck.
And then the finish by LaHood, putting their team up 2-0. And really, again, showcasing the patience on both sides of the ball. They found moments where they could press and put you in tough spots, and then also on the ball, they found moments where they could send it back, recycle, and then break you down in the final third. But then, I mean, what a strike by Cameron Lancaster. Just lines it up.
Look how far out he is as well when he takes it.
Yeah, you just see that back line for Atlante backing up, and he's like, all right, I'll just tee it up from about 35 yards out, and beats Hernandez there. The only goal for Lou City, but what a goal it was. And unfortunately find themselves in a 2-1 deficit. But on the Wednesday night at Detroit City FC, and what an overall atmosphere and experience for these two clubs and this family.
It really was a great spectacle with everything that was happening outside the ground, inside the ground, and the play on the ground as well. And Cameron Lancaster writes the headlines at the end of it with a spectacular goal. Atlante in the end to win the friendly by 2-1. This Hispanic celebration night was tremendous. The friendly lived up to the billing as well. Great skill and talent on display from both teams. In the end, Atlante wins it by 2-1, despite a wonderful finish from Cam Lancaster. For Eric Dobransky and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. John. We say so long from Louisville. We hope you enjoyed this international friendly here in Kentucky.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete...
Les guste o no les guste, les cuadre o no les cuadre, el Atlante es su padre, y si no, chinguen a su madre.